Graduates, the academic procession is about to enter the hall, and we will be singing the national anthem, with which we find the words on page 9 of your program. Please be upstanding for the academic procession and for the remainder of the national anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, declare open this congregation convened for the purpose of presenting degrees. Distinguished guests, parents, relatives, friends, and especially graduates, welcome to the University of Adelaide's graduation ceremony. We acknowledge the Kaurna people, past and present, the original custodians of the Adelaide Plains, and thus of the lands on which the Adelaide University's campuses are built. We acknowledge the Kaurna people's ongoing spiritual connection with this land. This graduation is a small sign that life's returning to normal, now that COVID-19 poses only a limited threat to us in South Australia. We're delighted to welcome those of you who are physically with us to our beautiful campus. We also extend a warm welcome to those who are watching the live stream of this event, and we're pleased that you're able to join us online for this celebration. Graduates, your graduation is an event in which you and your family and friends can take great pride. It is certainly a source of pride and satisfaction for the University of Adelaide. Graduation Day is an opportunity for you to reflect both on the past and on the future that lies ahead of you. This day may well signal a significant change in direction in your life. But whatever direction your life takes from here, the knowledge that you have acquired and the skills that you have learned and developed here should stand you in good stead, not only in your working and professional life, but we hope in all aspects of your future life. It's now my great pleasure to introduce to you today's graduation orator, Mr. Steve Masters. Steve Masters is an energy and infrastructure industry executive with more than 25 years' experience working in technical, commercial, and broad leadership roles across Australia and overseas. He was appointed Chief Executive of Electronet in 2014. This organisation of around 400 people is responsible for the safe, reliable, and affordable provision of high-voltage electricity transmission services across South Australia. Steve's formal qualifications include a Bachelor of Science with honours in Petroleum Geology and Geophysics from this university. He has attended Oxford University's Advanced Management and Leadership program and also sits as a member of the state government's Minerals and Energy Advisory Council. Steve also currently co-chairs the University of Adelaide's Energy, Mining and Resources Advisory Board, and we're very grateful for his support to the university in this role. We're privileged to hear him speak today. Please join with me in welcoming Mr. Steve Masters.
Good morning, the Honourable Catherine Branson, ACQC Chancellor, Professor Mike Brooks, Interim Vice-Chancellor and President, members of staff and especially graduates. I'd also just like to acknowledge that the land we meet upon today is the traditional land of the Kaurna people and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Look, thank you for the honour and privilege to be here on what is a very special day for everyone present. It's always exciting to see the pride and joy in graduates on these big occasions, and a big congratulations to all graduates on your significant achievement. Your hard work over the years has paid off, and for those of you that had to study during 2020, it's obviously been a difficult year. To stick to your guns, adapt learning styles, keep motivated when it could have been tempting to opt out or throw in the towel is a credit to you all. You should be very proud of your achievements and excited for what the future will hold. I think it's also important to thank and acknowledge the people that have supported you along the way and those that will be there for you tomorrow. This faculty has produced many fine graduates over the years, and there's no reason why this cohort should be any different. Look, I could talk about a lot of things today, for instance, the coincidence, given the many finance-related backgrounds in the hall, that the day of your graduation, the 29th of October, also marks the 91st anniversary of Black Tuesday, the final day of the 1929 Wall Street crash. But instead of trivia, I wanted to focus on two things today: being the best person you can be and leadership. Amongst many things, the biggest opportunity you have in the world is to make a positive difference to yourself, to your family, and to society. And that difference can manifest itself in many different ways. An old Chinese proverb goes something like, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So in terms of leadership, think about the seeds that you need to plant today to be the person you want to be tomorrow. Regardless of your educational backgrounds, as leaders, you have a responsibility to not just tweak the agenda, but to flip the narrative. So don't just be the snowflake, don't just be the snowball, be the avalanche. But only you can decide if you want to have a bias for action. And only you can make the most of the gift that nobody else has, the gift of being you. Corporations are placing growing emphasis on cultural fit and people-related attributes when hiring and promoting employees. Knowledge and intelligence will only get you so far. So in terms of leadership, good leaders, they come from all ages and backgrounds, and they include people in this room today. Leaders set the tone and hold themselves and others to account. Values and leadership capability are also very relevant considerations in assessing candidates in the corporate world. So when you leave this place, what will you stand for and what will you stand up for? What are you prepared to walk past? Because that defines the standard you accept. What are your values and how do you live them? Many of the values that you read or hear about, especially in the corporate world, and I could quote many, they sound great, they read great, but they mean absolutely nothing if they are not lived. Because at the end of the day, it won't matter what qualifications you have, what knowledge you have gained, or how intelligent you might be, people respond to basic needs and wants. All things equal, you will be judged by others on what type of person you are. The way you treat others may well be the differentiating attribute that defines the trajectory of your career. So for example, appreciate the work of others. No one in this world sets out to do a bad job, but as a leader, how you respond, how you coach, and how you care for others is so important. So a few tips and observations that might help you in the years to come. Be grateful for what you have and not stress about what you want. Don't sweat the small stuff. I can assure you that your time and energy will be better invested elsewhere. And as my mum constantly reminded me, use your ears and your mouth in the proportion they were provided to you. Always have a curious and open mind and be prepared to adapt and to reinvent yourself. Where possible, create career options and not corners. And it goes without saying, but be humble and kind. And remember, a smile costs you nothing, and it only takes less than a second to say thank you. Never underestimate what simple gestures can mean to others. You have all graduated in an unprecedented year. 2020 has again proved that life is not fair, but life is nothing more than a slab of clay for you to mould. So now, some homework for you. I would like you all to go home tonight and ask yourself, what do you need to do to be a better person or to achieve an important goal? So get out a post-it note and write down just one seed that you will plant tomorrow. Stick it up on your desk and hold yourself account to nurture that seed. So be the difference, make a difference, and don't die wondering about what could have been. Good luck, take care, and I wish you all the very best in your future endeavours, and that which you do, do well. Thank you.
On behalf of the graduates and their families attending today's event, I would like to thank Mr. Steve Masters for his stimulating and inspiring address. We are honoured that you have taken the time to join us on this special day to share with us your thoughts and experiences. Your words of encouragement and advice are greatly appreciated. They remind us that education places upon each of us an enduring responsibility to make the best possible use of our talents and to contribute to the betterment of society in whatever way we can. Please join me in once again thanking Mr. Steve Masters.
I will now receive the candidates for degrees. I call on the Interim Vice-Chancellor and President.
Chancellor, I, Professor Mike Brooks, Interim Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, certify to you and the whole university that the graduates who will be presented to you have all fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to the award for which they are so presented.
I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, by virtue of the power committed to me by the university, confirm that each graduate is admitted to the rank and privileges of a holder of the award in the University of Adelaide, for which they are so presented. I call on the Dean of Business from the Adelaide Business School, Professor Noel Lindsay, to present the graduates.
Chancellor, I, Dean of Business of the Adelaide Business School, Professor Noel Lindsay, present to you the graduates from the Adelaide Business School. To the Diploma in Business, Samuel William Diprose. And Christian Melcaxi. To the degree of Bachelor of Marketing, Henry Xavier Curtis. To the degree of Bachelor of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Mimi Ahern Briggs. Kabas Ahmed Sally El Humaidi. Mariam Sulaiman Salim Alad Tani. Jake Carlisle. Chinwe Cantona Chu. Gavin Shane Compton. Igor Aniza. Mary Francis Kelly. Jamie Coe. Saxton Smith. Tomi Tabakov. And Dieter Simon Wakeland. To the degree of Bachelor of Finance, International, Wenyin Po. To the degree of Bachelor of Finance, Ramzi Almug Rabi. Aramis Simeon Bakker. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Marco Bankovic. Daniel James Bendo. Jordan Jimmy Blanco. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Nicholas Ryan Bridges. Chen Xiao Cho. Dongwen Chen. Mo Chen. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Benjamin Thomas Chung. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Gabrielle Churnside. Pei Ying Chu. Leon Arthur Dimitri Kapoulos. Yan Chi Dong. Ellen Magdalena Emmott. James Stewart Feeney. Tyrone Michael Franchitto. Harrison Charles Gibbs. Harrison Julianne Gloin. Brian Go. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Mitchell James Grant. Declan James Cranston Gray. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Kevin Ignatius Gunaso. Han Han. Ro Chen Hao. Thomas George Harms. Nicholas James Hayes. Lucy Francesca Hazeman. Olivia Hazeman. Philemon Giles Hervé. Oscar Jeremy Holmes. Liam Stewart Hutton. Fan Jia. Yun Peng Jia. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Aidan Henry Johnston. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Kane Dylan Johnson. Jordan Sher Khan. Sasha Kukan. Darcy James Spencer Kraljev. Andy John Lamb. Roman Lamb. Junyu Lee. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Accounting, Tessa Renee Lubrali. Jingxing Lu. Dao Wang Lu. Yu Shu Wei Lu. Ra Lin Ma. Sikai Ma. Pablo Fernando Maroma. Benjamin John Massey. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Jack Christopher McGowan. Daniel Craig McLachie. Cameron Paul McPherson. David Paul Montebello. Kelly Murfitt. Josh James Niven. Natasha Janelle Orme. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Morgan Frederick Ovenden. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, we have Christopher Papaconstantino. Kurt Rademaker. Also receiving the Diploma in Arts, Farzana Rahman. Dave Rattan. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Matthew William Ryan. Priya Darshini Saravashanan. James Pryor Soers. Vibaz Sheikha. Stefan Smiljanich. Toby Guy Smith. Louis Edward Spencer. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Jane Alexandra Standen. Jacob Luke Stolitsnow. Jalu Sun. Selena Mai Gok Ta. Sally Tan. Michael John Temby. Nian Yi Tu, Charlie Tran, Elias Suvalis, Maxim Seymour Stanley Valesif, Bing Chi Wang, Li Wei Wang, Li Yao Wang, George William Waterhouse, Ben Henry Watson, Zhang Xuan Xia, Yiwen Xue, Zhao Hui Xu, Xu Wan, Crystal Yi Yang, Rami Zha, Yi Ting Zhang, and Alessandro Carmine Zollo. To the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Marketing, Elena Sarita Avery, Jacob Dylan Hopkins, Nicholas St. Ledger Huntermark, Leslie Anushka Jayasuriya, Thomas James Kaisler, Sachin Kambata, Thomas Patrick Noon, Lucy Claire Pittman, Madeline Mary Porter, Tina Letran, and Annalise Brittany Claire Wood. To the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Management, Angus William Denley, Astrid Helene Narberg Gillum, Nathan Alexander Michael Janda, Helena Labsha, Mark David Lloyd, Jack Henry Newton, and Kay Schmidt. To the degree of Bachelor of Commerce International Business, Nicholas William Cook. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of International Studies, Emma Kate Dwyer, Mitchell James Gillies, Adam Christopher Hurigan, Miroslav Misho Merkovich. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Languages, Isabelle Tranchini and Maeve Elizabeth Young. To the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Corporate Finance, Ermione Kira Andrushenko, Fedi Eldaher, Nicholas Christian Garbus, Charles John Limbert Hall, Adam Jerkovic, V. Bao Lee, Erin Minnie Mack, Portia Niakos, Arvin Nishikum, Warren Sinclair Peters, Benjamin James Reedy, Laura Rigmany, Roy Shue, Elise Jane Stevenson, Oliver Lloyd Taylor, Jayet Vidanaj, and Jinshi Wang. To the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Accounting, Bentley Lewis Anderson, Brianna Bailey, Taylor John Braggs, Andy Chia, Mitchell Darren DeTore, Victor Dobronin, Jason Craig Fopp, Jake Gerke, Surabhi Heitman, Fiona Quinn. Olivia Sarah J. Ji Jung. Taylor James Laverty. Henry Christopher Lodge. Monica K. Mazaraki. Jacinta Mu. Yui Dan Nguyen. T. Chow Quinn Julie Nguyen. Timothy Elliot Santon. Tony Zhang. Curtis Charles Wilson and Kue San Wong. To the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Kai Adset. Rana Abzali. Karul R. Mariaf bin Ahmed Mori. Fawad Ahmadi. Muhammad Akram. Joshua Albanese. Hamish Sean Allen. Simon Patrick Andrew. Edwina Claire Angove. Nina Ash Clark. Laura Bailey. Andrew James Baker. Christopher John Baker. Thomas Henry Irvine Baldock. Jed Francis Ballard. Lachlan John Bamford. Emily Josephine Banks. Shi Chen Bao. Amelia Rose Bazido. Cameron Mitchell Basnick. Courtney Lee Bell. Simona Amelia Bergerman. Chen C. B. Nam B. Un. Claudia Giovanni Benetti. Thomas Ross Bishop. Angelica Maria Bolella. Carla Bosey. Jordan Brace Girdle. Brandon Ui Say Heng. Renia Brandt. Jared Michael Bryan. Michaela Ellie Bunn. Eileen Kai. Lachlan Andrew Forbes Cameron. Harrison Avon Cansdell. Samin Tao. Shu Wen Tao. Yu Lei Tao. Lachlan Lloyd Carr. Samuel Richard William Carruthers. David Joseph Carstein. Mark Andrew Cavallin. Jia Xing Chai. Lauren Alicia Chalmers. Yi Chan. Pak Hei Calvin Chan. Abigail Wan Sin Chung. Jia Xing Chung. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Psychological Science, Joseph Lawrence Chapman. Ashley Victoria Chappell. Jack Oliver Chard. Bin Chen. Jing Chen. Lan Chen. Maidrin Chen. Ray Chen. Xumen Chen. Wan Shu Chen. Xuan Min Chen. Yuan Chen. Chong Cheng Tian Justin. Kenneth Yu Keng Cheong. Jackie Cheong. Teng Yan Chim. Christopher Elias James Powell. Emily Chung. Lucy Rose Codling. Jesse Coleman Jones. Lewis Conterno. William Jeffrey Cook. William Edward Combias. Kerry Marie Costa. Michael Kotsios. Adam Peter Kumi. Dylan Jamie Kuzna. James Robert Craig. Thomas Patrick Cronin. Luke Christopher Curtali. Isabella Del Santo. Caleb Mark Daly. Edward Nicholas Davis. Kate Marilyn Davis. Chen Deng. Xu Hua Den. Alexandra DePalo. Alan Dervia Civic. Zhenghua Dong. Jimhua Dong. Jingli Do. Jiashu Duan. Chloe Frances Claire English Dunstan. Thomas Charles Edney. Tan Sandy Lee Elder. Eleanor Ann Esau. Zi Chen Fan. Hao Jen Fan. Sung Fang. Lorenzo Fantarella. Georgia Emily Farmer. Mitchell Mark Fayland. Shui Nong Fong. Yu Bo Fong. Nicholas Fairday. Gabriel Bradman Vinyuman. Ian Lung Lai Fong. Anthony Formicello. Joshua Fuyaxis. Nathan Martin Fox. Ruby Ann Fox. Lachlan William Frost. Ying Fu. Luke Claudio Furlan. Wenlu Gao. Yin Cheng Gao. Christina Gavriluk. Jessica Franca Gerardis. William Thomas Gilbertson. Patricia In Chai Go. Mitchell James Goldner. Hamish Charles Good. Clem Patrick Goodrich. Victoria Jane Greco. Dexter Grogan. Xingyu Gu. Adrian Guerrera. Chanfeng Guo. Shi Chao Hao. Erin Louise Harris. Zizling He. Christopher Hedges. Jack Terence Hill. Jake Hilton. Gian Christopher Hippolyto. Chun Yi Ho. Han Young Ho. Joey Ho. Andrew James Hobbs. Georgina Kate Holston. Emma Kathleen Holmes. Philip Hong. Yu Hong. Choi Ling Ho. Jun Yi Ho. Na Su. So Yarana Tu. Jin Hao Hu. Kailin Hu. You are young Hu. Yu Tong Hu. An Ting Huang. E.G. Huang. Hong Fei Hui. Chuang Yi Hall. Yvonne Yu Boa Ing. Joshua Roger Jackson. Joel James. Ju Wan Zhang. Thomas Howard Jennings. Hui Ru Jia. Yurong Jia. Li Jung. Zhao Jung. Ashley Kate Jones. Bradley Philip Jones. Lauren Michelle Jones. Kamalpreet Kaur. Tom Anthony Kenny. Megan Lorraine Kent. Liam Kerr. Alicia Noor Aina Karudin. Yongling Ko. Hannah Simone King. Catherine Stephen Kingu. Tyler James Kirkham. Edward Michael Clute. Isabel Alice Knights. Shui Kong. Yudashi Bagya Kamadursiri Jayawadana. Kamphai Kwong. Pui Yi Kwong. Kiri Aku. Yi Chin Lai. Ming Kun Lai. Amber Page Lanthrois. Anthony Lanzoni. Ho Yi Lau. Triet Le. Adam Wei Lurk Lee. Samuel Tim Ming Lee. Tori Marie Lease. Feng Lei. Linka Lei. Hin Shek Lung. Sun Ming Lung. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Ariel Li. Guangyao Li. Hanmeng Li. Ling Xiao Li. Xiao Cheng Li. Zhao Zer Li. Joran Li. Hui Yi Liang. Rian Liao. Chan Rong Ling. Hao Yu Ling. Ji Chen Ling. Kaida Ling. Yi Fan Ling. Yi Wang Ling. Zhe Zhe Ling. Bi Xing Liao. Megan Ding Hui Yao Liao. Sorry. Ming Wei Liao. Tong Shang Liao. Ziwei Liao. Viv Lo. Hai Man Lo. Chen Lu. Wai Chak Lui. Man Nok Look. Jiao Wei Liu. Deng Hua Liu. Xiao Han Lu. Jen Ying Ma. Megan Mackey. Nicholas Peter Megliaro. Isabella Kate Martin. Rochelle Charlene Martin. Andrew Stephen May. Kate Elizabeth McBride. Ryan John McEachin. Patrick James McGarry. Jack Hendrick Mackay. Li Fu May. Zoran May. Emily Elizabeth Mercarella. Brandon McCurry. Wu Xing Miao. Taylor Jesse Michaelani. Paige Enid Mult. David Murphy. Nicholas Joseph Naja. Grace Weeks Nankerville. Emily Louise Nettle. Rylan James Newbury. Edmund Jun Yong Ng. Ferlin Ng. Son Ho Ng. Andy Hong Nguyen. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Jenny Nguyen. Min An Nguyen. Joseph Gabriel Nichols. Thomas Nichols. Stephanie Nomikis. Brendan Ong. Eugene Jin Uy. Alexander James Oswald. George Costa Pagonis. Mingran Pan. Yu Ting Pan. Jin Hong Park. Vipal Ashwin Uma Patel. Jaden John Pierce. Isabella Rose Pelliconi. Dan Pang. Benjamin Kai Perkins. Anthony Perkovic. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Samuel James Pikramenis. Trent Anthony Pilcher. Darcy Pittman. Nicholas George Powell. Jay Young Chi. Yang Chao. Yu Yi Chao. Zhe Qing Qing. Adyanth Rajesh. Michaela Ilario Raschella. Nicholas Jordan Rigador Yanis. Ben James Ritalik. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Mason Rezori. Malik Ben Rabib. Emily Margaret Richardson Smith. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Andrea Michelle Rivas Acevedo. Stephanie Rosella. Nur Hazika Sedon. Andreas John Salagaris. Bilal Silla. Elizabeth Ann Salter. Mark Sampson. David Paul Sugamano. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Jason Catano Sardinia. Isabel Mary Patricia Schwab. Jack Shriven. Joseph Nicholas Scuteri. Ashley Jade Seymour. Sarah Ellen Seymour. Bao Shah. Molly Shanahan. Gio Shah. Kushbu Sharma. Emily Jane Sharp. Dan Yang Shen. Gefei Shen. Yua Shen. Min Shi. Xing Yu Shi. James Richard Sibley. Wei Yi Sai. Stephen Simic. Nathan William Smith. Shu Wei Song. Yu Shang Song. Lisa Marie Steltari. Laura Stewart. Jingyu Sun. Shi Jing Sun. Sure Wan Sun. Shlomo Solomon Suvadovlov, Joseph Sejdi, Jahao Tan, Kainan Tang, Nok Ting Tang, Yi Yung Tang, Braden David Tarrant, Terry Michael Theodoru, Fletcher Mark Thomas, Julian Tataro, Herjay Tong, Ryan Trafford Walker, Caitlin Diem Fung Tran, George Shadao Traylor, Gemma Danielle Tripodi, Brandon Mark Trott, Chun Yin Sung, Wei Tu, Nathan John Toison, Harrison Twiggs, Abhishek Udaya Kumar, Adam James Villana, Alexander Lawrence James von der Borch Garden, Juan Shazua Azman, Bo Yu Wang, Jian Wang, Xingyi Wang, Xu Wang, Yi Chen Wang, Wang Er Feng, Zino Wang, Thomas Daniel Washer, Georgina Watts, Wei Wei Wen, Amy Jane Whelan, Sam Jock Whelan, Christopher Williams, Grace Helena Williams, King Lun Wong, Sim Main Wong, Huawei Wu, Jing Shen Wu, Shen Yu Wu, Yu Heng Wu, Xing Chen Shi, Chang Shi Sheng, Hui Shu, Ray Shu, Wei Fan Shu, Xing Yu Shu, Yu Sheng Shu, Fang Shui, Jing Fan Yang, Lu Yang, Dana Yemen, Xuan Ying, Heng Yu, Shu He Yuan, Benjamin John Zampa, Dandy Jung, Jia Ying Jung, Ji Ming Jung, Jing Drin Jung, Ke Fao Jung, Meng Ting Zhang, Ming Ming Zhang, Qing Zhang, Yi Hong Zhang, Ying Zhang, Yuan Rong Zhong, Yu Chen Zheng, Shi Yen Zhao, Yang Ting Zhao, Qi Jun, Ting Jun, Yu Lu Jun, Guan Chu Zhou, Nam Zhou, Victor Zhou, Yi Chen Zhou, Yu Zhou, Bingguan Zhu, Shui Zhu, Shuhan Zhu, Zhao Li Zhu, and Melissa Zollo. To the degree of Bachelor of Business, Global, Brittany Louisa Cox. To the degree of Bachelor of Accounting and Corporate Finance, Natasha Irene Hillman. To the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, Yuatsin Ishel Guzman Mora. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Finance, Evangeline Amelia Paps. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Lisa Jane Daniel. Mika Alexandra Fens. Harriet Joseph Feen Anusi Gray. Caitlin Jane Harris. Kate Louise Sansone. And Rebecca Grace Schneider. Chancellor, this concludes the graduates from the Adelaide Business School.
Chancellor, I, Executive Director and Professor of the Center for Global Food and Resources, Professor Wendy Umberger, present to you the graduates from the Center for Global Food and Resources. To the degree of Master of Global Food and Agricultural Business, Claire Elizabeth Adams. Darlington Baycor. Biaushan Hu. Arun Kumar Koturu. Chinli Liu. Sinran Liu. Winnie Mutoni Angugi. Sandeep Sandhi. Binoti Rajesh Sapra. To the degree of Master of Agribusiness, Gatpan Tuul Gatwick. Christopher John Maloney. Andrew David Schulman. And Raj Bahada Shali. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for a thesis entitled Improving the Robustness of Water Management in Indonesia, Dr. Siti Rama Mamun. Chancellor, this concludes the graduates from the Center for Global Food and Resources.
Chancellor, I, Senior International Trade Law Counsellor of the Institute for International Trade, Keith Wilson, present to you graduates from the Institute for International Trade. To the Professional Certificate International Trade, Mohammed Salim Hossein. To the Graduate Certificate in International Trade and Development, Tony Davura Ute and Kamis Yalakun. To the degree of Master of International Trade and Development, Stacey Ann Carter, Melissa Simone Crawley, Davida Crescenzia de Fatima Mesquita, Gunasekara Mudiyanselaga Nipunika Udatari Hadapangoda, Saiful Islam, James Makula Mukasa, Kong Bunrot, Hannah Lydia Maximovich, Bonakela Sarah Nzinisa, Goldie Evi Grace Simatupang, Harpreet Singh, Ichirikubinza Emmanuel Alexander Tibatemwa, Yuniarti Yuniarti, Jili Zhang, and Rui Zhang. Chancellor, this now concludes the presentation of graduates from the Institute for International Trade.
Chancellor, I, Head of the School of Economics, Professor Gareth Miles, present to you graduates from the School of Economics. To the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Alvis Kerr Yu Cheng, William George Brown, Rohina Chatterjee, Kai Chen, Nikki Cherie Cook, Alex Damazi, Joshua Finkler, also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Rachel French, Arland Gilliam Grant, Jessica Louise Hawkes, Jungi Hong, also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Coco Marie Hoskin Murray, Jiaming Ji, Connor Russell Jones, James Clappers, Cara Marie Lagana, Chen Hai Lam, Zena Mack, Alex John Cameron Mackenzie, Francesco Michael Maizi, Jake Connor Marshall, Joshua Luke Macmillan, James William Medley, Christopher Anastasios Mikalakis, also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Henry Aaron Isaac Nachum, Thomas Charles O'Brien, Heikal Yuza Pratomo, Samuel Owen Tumath Price, Joshua Charles Roberts, Anand Sambasivan, Abraham Shum, William George Smith, Adam Max Turner, Jeremy Usenays, Ingrid Josephine Valenti, Tin Wai Yao, Zhan Zhong, Xiaowei Zhong, Zhongwen Zhao, and Jie Zo. To the degree of Bachelor of Economics Advanced, Jaden Daniel Byrne. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Finance, Nicholas Andrew Booth. Lauren Kate Fletcher. Tobias Genborg. Kimia Gamashji. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Timothy Robert Hedger. Shaylee Brianne Herbert. Olivia Page Loxton. Sarah Ann Milbank. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Robert Abraham Monterosso. Michael Thomas Noikos. Claire Judith Nolan. Madeline Pemberton. Timothy Samuel Porter. Liam Mitchell Scott. Matthew William Thomas. Connor Amos Young. And Emma Claire Zeitz. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Economics, Nadia Sarah Albrecht. Samuel Mackenzie Burt. Raveen Rukshan Gamagi. Also receiving the degrees of Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Economics, Vanessa Vavaris and Georgia Erin Wiley. To the Graduate Certificate in Applied Economics, Laura Grace Zarnin. To the Graduate Diploma in Applied Economics, Brett William Colmer. To the degree of Master of Applied Economics, Ramzi Amsiyari. Ganapriya Nishantha Atula Gamagi. Gurleen Kaur. Muhammad Iqbal. Muhammad Kamarudin. Brahma Yadha Kazmara. And Wahu Adi Padana. To the degree of Master Advanced Economics, Naveed Javed and Nasantogto Yunran. To the degree of Master of Philosophy for a thesis entitled Dutch Disease in Australia, a Structural VAR Model, for Hana Abedin. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled Identifying Oil Extraction Effects in Developing Countries, Evidence from Ghana, Dr. Akwazi Ampofo. For a thesis entitled Health Insurance, Healthcare Utilisation and Labour Market Outcomes, a micro-study of Ghana, Dr. Frank Darkwa. For a thesis entitled 3 Essays on Unethical Behaviour and Deterrence Mechanisms in Contest, Dr. Jin Wu. Chancellor, this now concludes the presentation of graduates from the School of Economics and for this event.
My congratulations to all graduates, and we are very proud of you. Chancellor, every year the university presents university medals to acknowledge the most outstanding graduates in each faculty who have completed a University of Adelaide bachelor's degree with honours or bachelor's degree of at least 4 years duration. The university medals are awarded to them for their consistent, outstanding performance across the whole of their undergraduate studies. I, Professor Mike Brooks, Interim Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, present to you recipients of the 2019 University Medal from the Faculty of Professions. And I would ask each recipient to stand in turn. Micah Alexandra Fens. Kate Louise Sansom. And Georgia Erin Wiley. Chancellor, university doctoral research medals are awarded to graduates who have completed outstanding research at doctoral level. This award is the premier award for doctoral candidates at the university. I, Professor Mike Brooks, Interim Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, present to you a recipient of the 2019 University Doctoral Research Medal for research in the field of economics, Habtamu Tesfaya Ejigu.
I'm now very pleased to present to you Ashley Kate Jones, who was presented this morning with the Bachelor of Commerce. Ashley Kate Jones will now give the Valedictory Address on behalf of the cohort of graduates who are presented with their awards today.
Good morning, faculty, the families, partners and friends who are watching this via livestream, and the graduating class of 2020. I'm extremely honoured to stand here today on the behalf of all of the graduates. Today is a day to celebrate. To my fellow graduates, I want to say how glad I am that we are finally able to applaud our hard work and achievements together in person. Congratulations, we have finally officially graduated. While today is about the celebration of our achievements and efforts, I believe that it is important for us to reflect on our journey to this point. I started at the University of Adelaide as a bright-eyed 18-year-old and was nervous about what to expect. I had so many questions, like I'm sure you all did. What will uni be like? Will I make new friends? Will I even like my course? I then started uni, and my list of questions only seemed to grow further. Why is the ground level of the hub called Level 4? Why is St. Raph's Coffee by the Law Building so much better than Grand Impress in Nexus? Why do I get lost every time I go to the Bar Smith Library? How do I even reference? But very soon, like all of you, I had some of those questions answered and got into the rhythm of the university life. Throughout our journey at the University of Adelaide, we had our ups and downs. We faced various challenges and learnt from them. Group assignments comes first to mind because didn't we all have at least one challenging group assignment experience where we had to overcome disagreements and opinions? What I learnt from these experiences with the help of my tutors is the importance of teamwork, listening, and conflict resolution skills. After all, in the workplace, we will not get a choice with whom we work with. The university prepared us well on how to successfully navigate through these challenges. Another challenge I'm sure many of you also faced was learning how to handle the academic workload. I'm sure many of you remember staying up late at night, cramming for exams and finalising those assignments. What I was taught from these experiences was the importance of time management and organisation. After all, in the workplace, many of us will be expected to manage competing deadlines at one time. Finally, we all had to balance our studies with our paid work, work experience, internships, family, social and/or sporting commitments. What I learnt from balancing my commitments was firstly learning how to prioritise, but more importantly, using my support networks when times get tough, including my family, friends, and the university staff. It's okay to ask for help when you need it, and I learned it's okay to take a break sometimes. And catching up on the latest episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Grey's Anatomy totally counts. While we all face challenges, there were so many wonderful opportunities made available to us by the university. When reflecting upon all there is to be grateful for, I think about the tutors that inspired me, the lecturers who provided industry insight and a wealth of knowledge, the articles I read that made me reconsider my thoughts and opinions, the industry experience I gained through internships and networking events, the international exchange that I went on that was life-changing, the social gatherings including balls and pub crawls that I'll always remember, and of course the friends I made and the laughs we shared along the way. I'm so thankful for all of these experiences, both the ups and the downs, and everything that came along with it. Success is based on our resilience, to strive and persist, to sometimes fail, but to never quit. It is through these challenges that we are exposed to that help us to develop and grow as both individuals and professionals. While I know that this year has been trying as graduates, I know that we can be confident in knowing that we made the most of the opportunities made available to us by the University of Adelaide. The resilience we have gained through our time here will serve us as we enter our chosen industries. Whatever we choose from here, I wish all of you, my fellow graduates, the best of luck, and I thank you all for enriching my university experience. Thank you.
It now gives me great pleasure to congratulate all of the new graduates here today. Be proud of what you've worked to achieve, and remember those who've supported you to reach this end today. I wish you every success as you enter this next exciting stage of your life and your career. As graduates of the University of Adelaide, you are also its alumni and its ambassadors. Over the years since the university was established, its alumni have made an enormous contribution to the community both here and throughout the world. And today you join this community of over 147,000 alumni, located in more than 134 countries around the globe. We also have 17 global alumni networks, including 8 international networks. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the mace bearers and the valedictorian and all who assisted in the organisation and running of today's event. Let me now ask all of the graduates to remain seated, and I invite those in the stage party to stand and once again join with me in congratulating the graduates on their achievements. Would the graduates now please stand? And the academic procession will follow. Once the academic procession has left the hall, please remain in your seats until directed to exit by one of our COVID marshals. I now declare this congregation adjourned.
Amen.